Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News. It's Monday, March 18th. We have updates on criminal charges facing a former Penn State student, as well as more on renovations coming to Penn State's campus.
We also have more on legislative decisions being made across the country, along with entertainment, sports, and weather. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Marianna Daniele.
And I'm Morgan Suppes. A former Penn State student has pled guilty to his role in a crash that killed a fellow student last September. Ahmed Al-Ghabazi will serve up to 23 and a half months in prison for hitting and killing Lavisa Arneson Kronemri while she was jogging on East Park Avenue. Al-Ghabazi is from the United Arab Emirates and is currently being detained by U.S. immigration for violating his student visa after he was suspended by the university.
On the horizon for Penn State, a major campus transformation is in the works. The university plans to invest $80 million to renovate the historic Sackett building and tear down the Hammond building. The project is scheduled to start at the end of this year and is set to be done by 2027. The renovation aims to enhance the engineering college's presence with state-of-the-art facilities and student spaces. Board of Trustees approval is still in the works, but minimal impact to campus activities are expected during construction.
A new community college is coming to Center County. Penn Highlands Community College is scheduled to open this coming fall. It will be on the second floor of the Match Factory building in Bellefonte. The college will feature 3 classrooms, a computer lab, conference room, faculty offices, and a student activity area. It will offer a mix of in-person courses and online degree programs.
And Center County is now set to receive $4.5 million in federal funding. Senator Bob Casey announced the funding comes from a $1 billion federal spending bill. The funding will support 4 key projects, including upgrades at the Center County Public Safety Training Center and road improvements on South Allen Street. The State College Area Food Bank will also renovate its new location, and a vacant lot in Phillipsburg will be transformed into a community green space. These projects aim to enhance safety, improve accessibility, and the quality of life in the community. Now, in typical Pennsylvania fashion, we've seen quite the weather roller coaster this week. Gavin Sandell with Campus Weather Service has more details on how long that'll last. Take a look.
From the students of the Department of Meteorology and Atmospheric Science, here is your Penn State Campus Weather Service forecast.
Good evening, PSN. I'm student meteorologist Gavin Sandell. Here with your Monday evening forecast. Let's take a time-lapse view at Beaver Stadium. We started off with a little bit of blue skies throughout the day, but really as we've gone during the day, we've really been splashed with some overcast skies. 32 degrees is what we've been hovering at, and some of the shots have been a little bit cloudy, and that's because we've had some lake effect snow roll through. We had a band come in just a few minutes ago, but right now what it looks to be a very nice visibility here at Beaver Stadium. And as I said, 32 degrees is your temperature. With snow, we have a pretty gusty west wind at 18 miles an hour, which is dropping our feels like temperature to just 20 degrees. But really, that's part of the weather headlines this week. We are having a bit of a chillier week compared to most recent weeks, especially last week where it was over 15 degrees above average at times. But the lake effect machine is in full effect. We're going to have that lot of snow, scattered nature coming through the area through today, tonight, tomorrow, and maybe even to Wednesday as well. And we will have a potential wintry weekend on tap with a rain, snow mix on tap. And I'll go back to that in just a bit. Let's look at our temperatures, though. 36 degrees in State College, typical for a winter day, but as it stands in the high temperature departure from average, that's 13 degrees below what our average should normally be, which is 49 degrees. As you go east, it was a little bit warmer in the southeast, places like Philadelphia and Allentown, where it's just 3 or 4 degrees below average. But heading west up in Franklin and by the Lake Erie shoreline in Erie, that's where it was much below average today. And there really this big area of blue is concentrated throughout really the Ohio Valley. Louisville is just 38 degrees, which is, I believe their average is about 60 degrees, so quite lower for this time of year. And like I said, a lot of this lake effect snow just dragging its way throughout the State College area. We did have that band right there in effect, but really we're in a cloudy area right now. And going throughout the radar, this entire Great Lakes region minus the west shore of, Michigan, they're having a lot of snow in effect. So not just us, everybody's seeing it. Going into the future, this is going to continue. This is Tuesday afternoon, and timing it out, you will see some more lake effect snow continue to form into 9 p.m. and then timing it out further into Wednesday, we'll have a little bit of a more concentrated system push its way up, which might result in some rain, result in some snow. But then heading into Thursday, that's when we'll start to see a little bit of a break in the action. Still some clouds, especially out on the western parts of the state. Those will burn off by the afternoon, but what will result on Friday is a more concentrated low, even more concentrated than Wednesday, pushing itself in. But we'll time ourselves out for tonight, 27 degrees with some chilly conditions and flurries possible. Those winds going to be coming out of the west as they were today at 10 to 15 miles an hour. Same story for tomorrow, 40 degrees, although a little bit warmer, and 10 to 15 mile an hour winds coming out of the southwest this time. Let's take a look at your 7-day forecast. Tuesday, Wednesday, those high temperatures will just be in the lower 40s. And Wednesday and Friday, like I mentioned, we will have a bit of a chance for a snow or rain event coming our way. Going into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we will have a pretty nice weekend apart from Friday. And then those temperatures will start to rebound heading into next week. With that, I'm Gavin Sandell. Thank you for tuning into PSN. Enjoy your night.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Bronwyn Leiber with your sports update. With temperatures on the rise, Penn State winter sports are melting away and spring sports are blossoming into full swing. Now for the second time in program history, Penn State women's hockey made an NCAA tournament appearance. They were handed the 14th seed when their season came to a quick end after a heartbreaking loss against number 7 St. Lawrence. The game's regulation ended with a score of 0-0, sending the teams into overtime. Just under 10 minutes into the scoreless overtime, St. Lawrence put one in the back of the net to win and end the Nittany Lions season. As hockey ended, softball came home to kick off their season. The Nittany Lions had an undefeated 5-0 home opening run by beating Lehigh twice, Cornell once, and Canonish once as well. This makes the Nittany Lions 20-6 on the season. They will now go back on the road for one game tomorrow night at Pitt before returning home for 6 straight games. Yesterday marked Selection Sunday, where 68 men and women's basketball teams were put into this year's NCAA tournament bracket. This is otherwise known as March Madness. While Penn State did not make the men or women's bracket, 6 Big Ten teams made the men's side and 7 women's teams made it. Games will begin tomorrow night in Dayton, Ohio, as the first 4 tip off the tournament and the madness. That's all for your sports update. After the break, Alicia Ernst has the latest in the world of entertainment. Stay tuned.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State. Hey everyone, we are Red Carpet News, your main source of entertainment news at Penn State University.
Man, this festival is going to be popping.
I'm Alex Porzillo, here with David Harrell.
He's going to 23rd with Daddy Elon Warbucks, the actual space away from Kim.
So in sync, especially during Kendrick's part when they came out, reporting on anything from music, movies, TV shows, fashion, to celebrity gossip. You don't want to miss out on any of the hot topics we discuss.
Find our segments on YouTube under the name Red Carpet News for your daily dose of entertainment.
We are Red Carpet News.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Alicia Ernst with your entertainment update. Last week, the Bryce Jordan Center hosted country music star Zach Bryan for an unforgettable and record-breaking night. The singer-songwriter had nearly 16,000 of Penn State's country music fans swarming the BJC, making for an all-time high attendance. This audience topped the previous record of 15,316 set by Metallica in 2018. Given the massive turnout, the concert simultaneously shattered a second record, becoming the highest-grossing tour in Bryce Jordan Center history. Bryan's The Quittin' Time Tour surpassed the previous record set by Bruce Springsteen in 2023. Now, that wasn't the only musical performance on campus last week. Our Declan Stablo is live in the studio now with more details on a student-organized musical event. Declan?
Thanks, Alicia. The Penn State Saxophone Alliance hosted musician Adam Price last Thursday as part of their guest artist series. I had the opportunity to sit in and see the veteran musician interact with the students. Take a look.
What you're hearing is coming from the music building here at Penn State, where guest artist and Pennsylvania native Adam Price is providing a first-hand lesson to the next generation of musicians. The event started with a masterclass exclusive to the Penn State Saxophone Studio, an audition ensemble within the School of Music. The masterclass allowed Price to provide one-on-one mentorship about how to play as a group and how to navigate the professional world of music. For studio member and Saxophone Alliance treasurer Luke Kraniak, the experience is one of a kind.
Masterclass allowed him to have more of an intimate time with our members, and that way they were able to, learn from him, and he was able to offer a one-on-one experience that he wouldn't be able to offer in a large setting like this.
Luke's relationship with Price goes back over a decade, when he participated at Furwood Music Camp in Drums, Pennsylvania, where Price was a counselor. Their connection is what made this event possible. While his musical career currently has Price close to his roots, he's become a true globetrotter throughout his career, having performed at 6 different continents. The experiences have shaped him as both a musician and a person.
Just experiencing other cultures is just always really eye-opening and really, you learn that there's everyone all around the world. They're just people for the most part, right?
Following the masterclass was a jam session open to all members of the Saxophone Alliance, where students of all experience levels got a chance to play live with Price in front of their peers. Price made sure the experience was both fun and educational, giving every club member a chance to participate. The mentorship from Price comes at a great time, as the Alliance will be performing this Wednesday at the Penn State Recital Hall.
The next event in the Saxophone Alliance's guest artist series will be Sunday, March 24th, when they host Atlantic Reed Consort. Back to you, Alicia.
Thanks, Declan. Now, later this week, Saturday Night Live comedian Marcelo Hernandez will headline Penn State's second annual student-organized campus comedy event. The Center for the Performing Arts Student Advisory Council will welcome Hernandez along with opener Matt Smith at Eisenhower Auditorium for the show. Derby, a women's comedy troupe, will also perform a pre-event set. Tickets are available online for all Penn State students and staff. In national entertainment news, well-loved romance story The Notebook made its debut on Broadway this past week. The 1996 best-selling novel by Nicholas Sparks inspired a highly successful film adaptation in 2004. The movie stars Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams and establishes itself as a romance classic in the years since its release. The musical tearjerker was created by playwright Becca Brunstetter and songwriter Ingrid Michaelson. Since it's opening night, the reviews of this page-to-stage production suggest that tears are unavoidable. That's all for your entertainment update. Coming up next, interview anchor Audrey Keller will be speaking with Jackson Pavlik, a fourth-year musical theater student here at Penn State. Stay tuned.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State. Hey everyone, we are Red Carpet News, your main source of entertainment news at Penn State University.
Man, this festival is going to be popping.
I'm Alex Borzillo, here with Aiden Harold.
He's going to 23rd with Daddy Elon Warbucks to actual space away from Kim.
So in sync, especially during Kendrick's part when they came out, reporting on anything from music, movies, TV shows, fashion, to celebrity gossip. You don't want to miss out on any of the hot topics we discuss.
Find our segments on YouTube under the name Red Carpet News for your daily dose of entertainment.
We are Red Carpet News.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Audrey Keller, and our guest today is Jackson Pavlik, a fourth-year musical theater major here at Penn State. Most recently, you could have seen him in Center Stage's production of Urinetown as Caldwell B. Cladwell. Thank you so much for coming in, Jackson. So just, can you give us, for the people who don't know, what Urinetown is about, a little elevator pitch?
Sure. So the musical takes place well into the future when all of the water in the world has all but dried up. So everyone needs to pay to pee.
Yes. And you played this archetype of a villain character, this money-hungry Caldwell B. Cladwell. He's a villain. How did you make this character your own, as it is a stock character?
Yeah, well, it started kind of with the text and reading the text and saying, oh, what does the character say about himself? What do other people say about the character? What does the script tell us about the character? And once I had a grip on that, it was really just about having fun in the room. And we tried a bunch of different things, a bunch of different approaches, and eventually we settled on what we went with was with this kind of Nixonian character, right? We had a very low, shaky voice, and because he was this real powerful figure in this kind of almost 50s landscape with the style that we went with. So that's kind of how we started to build it from the ground up.
Yeah, it was really cool. I saw it, and Don't Be the Bunny was one of my favorite songs. When you guys brought out the tap dancing bunny slippers, I laughed out loud. I saw it alone, so I must have seemed like a maniac. But this show is super funny. It famously satirizes musical theater and a lot of other shows. There's a lot of allusions to other shows. Do you have a favorite moment, or is there a favorite funny moment in the show that you like to bring
My favorite moment is at the end of Act 1. We whip out this big old flag and we act like it's Les Mis, but these people are just revolting to pee. Which, that always tickled me. And I was up there in my big top hat, which I enjoyed.
Yeah, my favorite reference was the bottle dance from Fiddler.
Of course.
I thought it was one of the ones that I actively noticed, and I could not stop thinking about it afterwards. I thought it was super cool. Do you think that your performance changed night by night?
Well, there's a certain level of consistency that you have to achieve for safety. But so long as you're staying safe and so long as you're not wandering too far out off the beaten path, yeah, there were plenty of things that I changed a little bit. There was a particular moment where I got to get up on a desk, and that moment changed every night. Some nights we added a leg, some nights not, but yeah, got to change a little bit.
Do you have a favorite part of the show that maybe you're not in, maybe you are in?
Every night I got to sit backstage and I got to watch the big gospel number, Run Freedom Run, which was a bunch of fun. And sitting there backstage as the audience would applaud for 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 50 seconds, a minute, that was pretty thrilling.
Nice. And you mentioned before to me that you played the same character in high school, in your high school's production of You're in Town. Do you think your performance changed? How did it change? How did your performance evolve?
Just from coming here and coming to the musical theater training program here, I have more knowledge, I have more skill, I have more technique. And so just getting to apply that to the same show later down the line just enriched everything and changed everything, because I knew how to approach it. I wasn't just coming in on day one, reading the script and doing what I thought would work. I was, reading the script and rereading the script and bringing in ideas.
Did your dramaturgy process change from your high school experience when you dove into the character?
Yeah. The first time I did it, I was just kind of looking at what had been done before, and this time I was looking at what I could do.
Interesting. And did your relationship with the cast, who do you think, I know I did theater, so I know the relationships with the cast and everything. I know there's some pretty tight bonds. Do you have a special friend from the cast, or just someone that you could share the laughs with during rehearsal?
Well, there are plenty of people, because in our senior class, there are only 9 of us. And I think 6 of us were in the show. So those are 5 other people that I've been in class with since freshman year. So that was pretty special, getting to do it with those people who I see day to day, every day, maybe 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, it's a pretty tight group. And so Penn State Musical Theater, the program is notoriously selective. I think they only accept, 12 people a year? First of all, congratulations for being one of them for your class. And how did you know that Penn State's program was going to be the one for you? How many schools did you apply to? What was that process like?
I have kind of a funny story, because I am from just outside of State College. And my father's worked at the university for 30 some odd years. So I kind of grew up with this program in my backyard and going to see shows. And in 7th grade, 6th or 7th grade, I was like, okay, well, I like musical theater. I know that you can go to school for it, but I don't know what it entails. So I came up here and I scheduled a meeting with one of the admissions folks just to start to understand, okay, well, how do you do this? And she kind of walked me through it. And I left that day going, I think I'm going to go to Penn State. And so, my senior year came, I auditioned for, I think, 10, 11, 12 schools, something like that. And each time I was like, oh, this isn't Penn State, but it's good. And then, I got the call, and it was Penn State, here I come. So I've kind of known for a while.
Perfect. I think I had a similar experience when I knew that Penn State was the right school for me. But I was wondering, so I did theater for a while as well. And I noticed that I took little things from either the show or the role, or like the process of doing it. Just talking about the shows you did for Center Stage, which is a different program than the smaller productions here. What do you think, if we want to do like a little timeline back onto your roles before, what do you think you took away from each show?
My first big thing here was Brigadoon. We did a production of the Lerner and Loewe musical Brigadoon, and I didn't sing, but I had all the funny lines, and that allowed me to endear myself to the audience in a way that I hadn't really experienced before. So that was nice. And then after that, I did a production of Cabaret, and I played the Nazi. And I learned that you don't have to love what your character thinks to love your character. Then I did a play called Everybody, where I got 20 minutes of stage time alone talking to the audience, and I learned how to form a bond with an audience. And then I did a production of Natasha Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812, and I learned how to pace myself, because I was running around and sweating. And then I did this one, and I learned that that finding the culmination of everything that I worked to was fruitful.
Yeah,
and the technique works.
It definitely was. I could tell the amount of love that was put into this performance, and you did incredible. And I just know that your future will be bright.
I hope so.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And telling us more about your experience in the musical theater department. Now, stick around, because coming up next, Morgan and Mariana will have the latest news from across the nation.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State. Hey everyone, we are Red Carpet News, your main source of entertainment news at Penn State University.
Man, this festival is going to be popping.
I'm Alex Forzillo, here with Baby Harold.
He's going to 23rd with Daddy Elon Warbucks to actual space away from camp.
So in sync, especially during Kendrick's part when they came out, reporting on anything from music, movies, TV shows, fashion, to celebrity gossip. You don't want to miss out on any of the hot topics we discuss.
Find our segments on YouTube under the name Red Carpet News for your daily dose of entertainment.
We are Red Carpet News.
California lawmakers are suggesting delaying the new rules aimed at reducing lawn watering. Last year, California proposed laws that would reduce statewide water usage by about 14%. Those rules included slowly limiting outdoor water usage by 2035 so California can conserve water for its dry summers. Now, regulators are proposing delaying that timeline by 5 years. This gives water agencies more time to convince their customers to use less water, but environmentalists are worried the delay will continue to harm the state's already scarce supply. The State Water Resource Control Board is scheduled to vote on the rules later this year.
Alaska Governor Mike Dunleavy vetoed a major education bill despite having strong legislative support. The $175 million package is aimed at addressing teacher shortages and boosting school funding. Dunleavy is pushing for teacher bonuses and charter school support rather than district support. Lawmakers plan to meet next week to discuss a possible veto override.
Kentucky's GOP legislature is taking steps to criminalize protests inside the Capitol. The Kentucky House passed a new bill that criminalizes disorderly or disruptive conduct intended to prevent lawmakers from doing business. Violating it would be a misdemeanor for a first offense or a felony for repeated offenses. Activists are worried this could limit their First Amendment rights. It comes after protesters staged massive demonstrations against anti-transgender legislation, which led to multiple arrests. The bill is now pending in Kentucky's Senate.
The Supreme Court has made a landmark ruling on social media and public officials. In a unanimous decision, the court stated that officials could face lawsuits for blocking critics on their personal accounts if they are used for official communication. Justice Amy Coney Barrett clarified that while officials have personal lives, their public statements must allow criticism. This decision aims to balance the free speech rights of both public officials and other social media users in today's digital age. That concludes our show tonight at PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.